Our society has countless images, ideas, and stereotypes about change agents. People who help an organization transform by improving business process and interpersonal interactions. Whether influencing fashion, business, art, entertainment, science, politics, or law, these change agents have and continue to positively impact today's society on so many levels. And today, we are proud to share the story of these business owners, coaches, innovators, and thought leaders from various industries who are eager to educate, inspire, and motivate you. This is Our Voices on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to Our Voices Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the owner and co-founder of Dressing Room 8, co-host of Woke and Free, and the lifestyle editor of Plus Model magazine. And this show is focused on highlighting the amazing work of powerful change agents who have a great message to share with the world. And today I'm really excited to be talking all about plus-size fashion with the new and independent brand, C Rose Go. C Rose Go is a premium fashion brand creating beautiful clothing for curvy women. At C Rose Go, they believe all types of women are beautiful. The woman who follows her ambitions and is passionate about what she does, it's about her story and what makes her go. Her size label doesn't determine who she is or what she's capable of. And the co-founders are Erin Cavanaugh and Yi Zhou, started C Rose Go in 2017, so very recently. And collectively, they have 30 years of experience in the global fashion industry, which span leadership roles at premium brands such as Nike, Nordstrom, American Eagle, and Converse in design, marketing, and merchandising. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hello, hi, Natasha. Thank you for having us.
Yes. I'm glad that you are able to join me. So first and foremost, I love your designs. I love the messaging, and that's why we're speaking today, because you ladies are change agents and you're changing fashion. So to kind of get everyone up to speed, first, can you talk a little bit about how C Rose Go came to be? Like what were the fundamental steps in forming the company?
Sure. Yi, do you want to take that one? You tell it well. Well, the thing is really how do we start it, right? It started with and just a very casual conversation when we were talking with a friend of ours about fashion. And we all love fashion. We're in fashion, loving fashion. And our friend, she was saying you really just have no idea how that is to shop for my body. And she wears a size 16. We were a bit stunned to hear that, because it just really, she's like, there's not too many great options out there. And the clothing that's well made, that has quality, that fits well, and also that spoke to my design aesthetic. And she actually took us shopping, and that was really when it dawned on us, where we thought oh wow, if just because of the size that you wear, and therefore you're being limited with the amount of fashionable clothing that's well made, and therefore you in the mornings you can't really get dressed in a proper way and be feeling confident and feeling beautiful and go out and get your things done. We were just that was an emotional turning point. If that's a problem, then there's a solution that we can provide to. Yes.
And Erin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we started. From there, it was actually the story. Our friend was the catalyst that really started it. And then from there, Yi and I knew we needed to speak to more women. That really drove us to wanting to reach out first to friends, colleagues, anyone that kind of we could talk to about their experience of fashion. If they're wearing a size 14 or 24, 22, it's kind of, what's your experience with fashion? What's your life like now? What's your day-to-day? What are you missing from fashion? What do you want? And we just went on to have more and more and more and more conversations. And at the end, Yi and I are taking notes, and we're breaking up Post-its, and we're decorating, the walls of all these Post-its. And we really found that women were kind of all talking about the same thing. And we found a category kind of coming out that was really about quality. So many women talked about the material, the zippers, the durability of the fabric, what they didn't like. They hated dry cleaning, anything that would kind of relate to the construction and the makeup of a garment. And then there was quite a bit about fit. And then there was this whole other area about style, not finding what's right for me. And we would ask women, well, where do you shop now? And one of the common answers was, where do I shop, or where do I want to shop? So that really struck us. That was like, okay, so you are not able to find your stylistic point of view. You know, if you're not able to express yourself through your style because of the limited options you have, and maybe you don't want to wear a polo shirt, but that's all that's out there. You know, that's an extreme example, but that is an example that we've heard from somebody. So that kind of really drove us to like, all right, we can do something, we can make a difference.
Absolutely. As a plus size person, I too can attest that it's difficult. It's difficult to feel celebrated in different parts of a woman's life. But when it comes to our clothes, right, we don't live in a naked world. We have to put something on. No. And we have the right to have something that's beautiful, that's well fitting, that's great quality, and it complements our personality and the type of presentation that we're trying to give to the world. So I love
Absolutely,
that you felt so motivated and determined to offer something that's not necessarily out there already for our curvy women. So how did you come up with the name See Rose Go?
See, well, that actually goes back to the conversation. So name was the big thing. Like it's just, how do you name a business? First of all, everything's taken. So you either have to. It was very important for us. We were like, we make up a word, and everything was weird. And you know what? Yi and I were like, let's go back to our woman. Let's go back. Everything was like, well, let's go back to these conversations. Let's go back to her. What is she saying? What is she telling us? So everything is really driven by the woman we speak to. And the conversations, we were just really struck by how multidimensional and the tenacity of these women. Like, they all had these goals and ambitions and things they wanted to do. And anytime we asked them, okay, how would you describe your personality? How would you describe themselves? It was like, oh, I'm this, / this, / this. All these the descriptions were amazing. And Yi and I kind of found ourselves like cheering for them. And it was almost like this rally cry, we call it. That was like, wow, look at them go. Like, this woman I spoke to is doing this and this. And then imagine if you didn't have the clothing to get out the door and do all these things, you know, or like to at least feel your best. So we found ourselves cheering for these women. That was kind of like the go, oh my gosh, they're going. And then we also know, like, Yi and I kind of really wanted to have this timeless classic element of it. And that's where the name came in. It's really just like modern element, but definitely a relevance and, just a beauty, an approachable beauty.
I love it.
And in the end, Rose, when you think of the name Rose, it's just something that's just, it's feminine. She's a friend. She's somebody you can trust, and she's beautiful, and that's also something, and she's very classic. And so those were the things that it just spoke with us, and we all knew a person that who inspired us. That's our Rose. So we want to be, and we want to see every woman is the Rose, that it's the best of yourself, Yeah.
Absolutely.
So see Rose go. We are there for you.
Absolutely. Yep. And she has somewhere to go. Curvy, straight size. Yes. We all have goals. We all have beautiful ambitions, and our clothes have to support that. Absolutely. Yep. I love it. All right, ladies.
It's just like what you said already in your intro. It's really not about what size do you wear. It's about like your stories, and every woman has a story to tell. And it's just also the clothing as a way to express your personality. So in the end, we would love to see every woman just feeling confident and just go out and do your things, go and get your goal and go and
absolutely.
Achieve your goals.
Absolutely. You are listening to Our Voices Radio on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Natasha Nurse, and my guests today are co-founders of See Rose Go, Erin Cavanaugh and Yi Zhou. So, ladies, we were talking about the beauty and the amazingness of curvy women, right? So that's awesome and super empowering, and everyone knows is saying yes, 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 girl, when they're listening right now. But what are some of the, I guess, challenges that our current day plus size women are facing? So when we talk about they don't have anywhere to shop, what exactly is the process that they're having difficulties with? Is it the fit more? Is it finding the style? Is it both? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
I think, I'll just start out with saying sometimes it's just the overall experience. That was one thing, like when we, of course, like we needed to kind of get in there and see what was in the market. And even just, first of all, if you can find a place, okay? So you go to the department store, that's one experience. And it could be on the 10th floor in the back. We all know that story, right? Or have had where you go and it just, you're put in the corner and there's no music and it's a sad experience. So I think that's one challenge you're dealing with. Okay. The other thing is, if you're shopping on your own, all right, it's a sad experience. You're shopping with a friend, then you're either separated because she's going to one part of the store and you're off on your own, or you're all going together to this sad experience. That could be another, a challenge. But then once you even get into it, I would say definitely hearing from women the quality, how long clothes are lasting them, and even and that would include the fit too. I would say, right, Yi, like just having to settle. Like basically, women are like, okay, I can't find anything that's good enough, so I'll guess this is fine.
Okay, Yi, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, and then the other thing was also very much the style aesthetic, like. Is that your style? They were also the stories that we hear very much. It's like, because it's like the perception of what the industry or the brands who is currently catering to, they are catering to one or certain particular aesthetic or a certain type of women. So everything out there, if it's like just drop shoulder or bare shoulder or cold shoulder, that's happening over there and not being looked at. There are like the different multifacets that every woman is different. It's not being looked at in that sense. So it's not being looked at like, what is your style aesthetic, that all plus size women are thought of like, hey, she's like that. So I think for us was also very much, we want to understand the woman behind, and also to understand her mentality and her attitude and how she stands in life, and that was one thing that we also realizing after the insights, the research that we've done, and after speaking with so many women, is like there's so many more common grounds and common aesthetics and common things that we want in clothing, but also the experience of getting dressed. And the idea of like, I don't want to keep shopping every season or buy things that doesn't last me, or it's like I want to invest. The more that we hear was more like, I want to invest in myself. I want to invest in my own aesthetic, and I'm worthy of investing in myself and build towards my own personality, and my clothing is a way for me to express how I feel and who I am. And I think that it's an aspect that's not very much looked at in that sense, to kind of like really to address the women's need in that sense. It's not just to wear something for the sake of wearing it, but wearing something that fits your personality. And that's really where we want to kind of connect with, and that's where we've been connecting with since the launch last year in August. It's really the first time whenever, like, we were lucky enough to have had a pop-up shop, and when in over the Christmas time, actually, between Christmas and Thanksgiving, and the reaction that we got from women coming into the pop-up shop, or the moment when they wear our products, the moment that they were touching it first, and then try it on, and able to experience the fits, just the face, the attitudes, but also the feeling of the confidence just comes up, and they were like, "Oh, I feel good in this. Oh, I feel like a boss lady." It's like the moment when the lady, it's just like we can see that certain transformation coming along, where the self-confidence really coming out. For us, when we see that, that's when we then feel like, oh wow, okay, it's a very humble job that we do, but when you do, in the end of the day, you're able to see that there is something internally kind of wakens up, and she just feels so beautiful and confident about herself, that really makes us really go kind of, okay, this is the reason why we do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so true. When you're feeling good and you're feeling it and you're looking good, you're going to go out there and you're going to do great. I think that's really the truth.
I couldn't agree more, ladies.
Yep.
You are listening to Our Voices Radio on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Natasha Nurse, and my guests today are the co-founders of Sea Rose Go, Erin Cavanaugh and Yi Zhou. We will now go to break.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Have you seen websites that don't require a prescription or offer to ship medicine internationally? Then you've seen a rogue website. Often they sell fake meds with too little, too much, or no medicine at all. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. .Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. You know where .com is located in a website address, right? That's where you'll find .Pharmacy.